What's good, gamers? It's Scrawny with the Skinny, and I present to you the Pickstop Pit Stop. Pickstop.gg is a website that offers pick'em challenges for the significant CSGO events throughout the year. No longer are pick'em challenges reserved for the majors, thanks to Pickstop.gg. Now, this video is also one half of the Pickstop 1v1, a battle of the bulbous brains between myself and that snake, Maui Snake. That's right, Maui Snake and I, 1 versus 1. Who can better predict this season of ESL Pro League's playoffs better, with the series winner and the series score? 2 1s, 2 0s, that all counts at Pickstop.gg on their global leaderboards, their private leagues, etc. I think this is a really good companion alongside HLTV Fantasy because sometimes you predict the right teams, but not the right players. At Pickstop, players don't matter. Get your bragging rights now at Pickstop.gg. So, Maui Snake, I know you're going to be watching this, and to that I say, let's get into the picks. Round of 16 for the ESL Pro League playoffs. Navi versus 00 Nation. To me, it looks like Electronic and Bit are back. Second and third highest rated players on Navi behind Simple. It seems like the formula's returning to form. And in the face of 00 Nation, I give this to Navi 2-0, nice and easy. Liquid versus Pain. Man, Liquid causing pain as they started out in this group stage looking like utter trash. It's another cold start from Liquid, but it's also another surely improving Team Liquid formula. And in the face of pain, I give this one to Liquid as well. 2-0. Just as confident in them as I am Navi. When we go down to the bottom of the group, we get the Riders, who I think should fare better than Pain and 00 Nation in their opening games, but they're also dealing with a tournament-winning G2. Now remember, G2 lost to Cloud9, were knocked down away from just skating straight through into the quarterfinals of this playoff bracket, and now they've got to make the long run all the way from round of 16. Hooksie's not looking invincible, but I don't doubt his calling, and I don't doubt the stars, and especially as the playoff bracket continues to roll out, I do anticipate G2 get through this one nice and easy as well. It's another 2-0. Fnatic versus Furia, a little bit more interesting. I think Quesarado is the best player of the 10 players in this server, hands down, but I do think that we're getting to the end of the art era. Unfortunately, for Furia, I think that Ancient is going to play a critical role in this series. And for that reason, Fnatic 2-1. Round of 16 complete. We move forward to the round of 12. Ooh-wee. In the round of 12, we've got Outsiders versus Navi to start. Now this, I think this could go either way. I really, truly do. But the Outsiders map pool overlaps that of the Navi map pool quite significantly. Inferno, Overpass, and Vertigo, 3 most played maps for Outsiders. Inferno, Overpass, Nuke, most played maps for Navi. Now, because we get the ban of Vertigo from Navi, I think that opens the door for a potential Anubis pick. I think that in this case, Outsiders actually have the better map pool. And I think that's enough to give them the edge here. I could be wrong. I definitely understand that. But I'm giving this one Outsiders in a classic squeaky butt-clenching type scenario. Outsiders 2-1 into the quarterfinals of Pro League Season 17 playoffs. Fnatic versus FaZe. Now, sure. Okay. FaZe blew it versus Vitality. Insane comeback happens on Anubis for Vitality to top that group, but FaZe were looking very solid regardless of Vitality's improvements. And versus Fnatic, I'm sorry, man. Fnatic just don't have any star power in my eyes. I think that they could be good for a top 8 if, let's say, Fours was in the place of FaZe, but because FaZe are going to fight them early, this round of 12 victory goes FaZe, and I'm going to say clear and concise 2-0 win. I'm going to skip the NA hopes and come on down to G2 versus ENCE. Very much like Riders, ENCE are showing marked improvements. Thank God this team is not going to fall off a cliff back into the realms of irrelevancy. It seems like Nertz is the real deal, but this will be the highest competition yet for Nertz. arguably in his career. Will G2 come in and dominate? Possibly. Possibly. We'll see how they return to form. It's been a while that we haven't even seen them play. Remember, they were in the first group of the season. What have they been up to? Have they been practicing? How bad do they want this? Regardless of how bad they want it, I think they've got it. Versus the likes of ENCE, G2 pick up this series, and I'm going to put faith in the G2 camp 2-0 over ENCE. We return to MOUZ versus Liquid. All right, I've got a vested interest here. I have a bet with Pimp that MOUZ will be ranked top 8 or higher by the start of this summer's player break. For that reason, I want to see them win. But I'm also from NA. What to do? Well, let's take a look at the map pool. Highest played maps for MOUZ, Inferno, Ancient, Mirage. We look at Liquid, Inferno, Mirage, and Overpass. Ancient coming in on 4th. I think this overlap, very much like Na'Vi versus Outsiders, plays into MOUZ's strengths. I think Dexter is exceeding all expectations and continuing to frag amidst the pack. I do think that OC will take Torzy down. I think he's got his number on an individual level, and Yakinder kind of scares me right now. He looked really good. But Frozen, need I remind you, Frozen dominated his group, all right? This guy was playing like an actual star, a world-class star. And so for MOUZ versus Liquid in the round of 12, I'm taking MOUZ 2-1. It's going to be a knock on my door for this one. I can feel it already. Quarterfinals, folks. Quarterfinals. The top 8 teams. There's one in here that I think is nice and easy. Fours and FaZe, and FaZe and Fours. And unfortunately for Fours, I think FaZe, unfazed by Fours, are just going to take this easy. You know, Fours, congratulations. You grabbed an opportunity with both hands. You topped your group in a shocking fashion. You upset versus Na'Vi to start that run, and you defeated ENCE as well in order to secure this quarterfinal spot. A top 8 is where I would say Fours peak. And so seeing as they start here, I don't have faith in it. All right. It's a great run. It's a great showing. It's awesome to see the fact that, you know, Jerry has done it again, and Shalfi, Zorte, real Russian talent. But FaZe take this series 2-0. First semifinalist locked in. Okay. Let's do Heroic versus Outsiders. Now, Heroic versus Outsiders, Rio major final rematch. Again. I think Heroic are the best 5-piece team at the moment. The amount of team play that is currently just flowing out of Heroic is nothing short of miraculous. It is so awesome to see the way they play tethered together. And I think that right now Heroic are hungrier than anybody else for a tournament win, right? You lose in the major finals. You lose in Katowice. I think this time they take it. I think Heroic beat Outsiders in a 2-1 fashion. That leaves us with C9 versus MOUZ. Now, a lot of people, they're going to be seeing what, of course, Shiro and Axile did back at group stage, and they're going to be thinking they've got MOUZ down easy. But I want to remind you what they did in Katowice. All right? That blowout was in a high-pressure situation. And I think that one of the contributing factors to Cloud9 beating G2 in their group is the lack of pressure at the start of course, an entire season of Pro League. If they had lost that game, they had plenty more chances. Plenty more chances. But now it's single elim, quarterfinals, and your favorites. I think MOUZ make a run here. I think MOUZ will do as they did at the major quarterfinal and upset versus C9 yet again. I don't believe in Cloud9's map pool at the moment. I don't believe in Buster. I think this is the same Cloud9 that we saw choking Kato, and they're going to choke again. It'll be close. Shiro and Axile at this moment, incredibly good form. If they transition that into quarterfinals, there's no way Torzy can even keep up to the likes of Shiro. It's so one-sided in the op department between this head-to-head. But I think across the board, the riflers on the side of Maus, the team play, and the in-game leadership of Dexter versus Nafany is enough. 2-1 Maus. They will make a top 4 at Pro League. And then we have Vitality G2, man. Vitality with Jax. How, in God's name, did Jax come back and play as well as he has? It doesn't make sense. And for that reason, I don't think it can last forever. But the honeymoon is real. Vitality using ZywOo's star power is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. I think that they could have G2's hands full. And if G2 limp into this quarterfinals, right, wounded from the Cloud9 loss, no longer looking as perfect and having to shake off some ring rust, well, some of that rust will be shooken off versus Riders, versus Ents. And so this could be one of the games of this playoff bracket, in my opinion. ZywOo versus m0NESY. Vitality trying to make a run into the Paris Major, which is right around the corner. Vitality. They're going to do it. They're going to upset against G2. They're going to deny them another trophy win. It's going to happen. G2 are going to show a little shakiness going into the Major, while Vitality will be riding a high. Vitalité, 2-1. And now we have our 2 semifinals. Heroic versus FaZe on the top side. Like I said earlier, I think Heroic want this more than anybody else. And I think that they have the 5 players to do it. They won the Blastfall finals in Copenhagen. They can deal with the pressure. And I think that they can deal with this phase. This is not the phase of the first half of 2022. It's not. Heroic will 2-0 FaZe. 2-0. Dominant. And then we have Vitality versus Maus on the bottom side. Guess what? Maus, I'm sorry, your run ends here. You're not a top 2 team just yet. Top 4, I'll give it to you. Vitality through Maus, 2-0. Choke. Heroic versus Vitality Grand Finals. It's Pro League. You know it's a best of 5. Will Vitality repeat another Pro League win like they did previously in Malta? No. No, they won't. This one belongs to Heroic, but it's going to be a burner. Long series. In a BO5, I say all 5. Heroic 3-2 Vitality in the grand finals. It's a lot of predictions. There's a lot of variables. There's 100 things that... There's a dozen things that could go wrong. But these are my predictions, and I will do better than Maui Snake. You heard it here first at the Pickstop Pit Stop.